Good morning, everyone. It's our next episode of Chat with Hatt. I hope you have your cup of coffee with me. And you know what? I'm going to say good morning, friends. I wanted to share a little bit. I had a nice little nostalgic moment for myself yesterday and my classmates. May 12th of 2001 at 11 a.m., I got to cross the stage at Washington State University and hear my new name, Dr. Selena Hatt. It was quite an accomplishment for my family, and I just wanted to share with you what that meant for me. It's been 20 years. What an amazing journey I've had. I'm going to start kind of a little bit though and just share with you my heart on how this even came to be. My family has always been very responsibility driven, and so my father had asked me one day on one of my driving lessons what I wanted to do with my life, and I honestly picked veterinary medicine out of the air. I never had a childhood that was, I wanted to be a vet when I was 5. I don't have that story. I just loved school, I loved people, and I just really wanted to make a difference. And so I got to go to vet school at my father's alma mater. It was a big deal for me to go to Washington State University, and I did my undergraduate studies there. And then went ahead and proceeded into vet school and graduated with a phenomenal class in 2001. That was really an amazing day for me. But then I started my first job on Whidbey Island in Washington State, still one of my favorite islands, followed very closely by a second island of my life, which is Oahu. I went and started my first job on Whidbey Island, spent about 2 years there, and then I got to move to Hawaii. And by the end of my third year, I became a practice owner. And so Animal House is very dear to me, and I have actually owned that practice for 17 years and been able to enjoy seeing some staff go to vet school or feel very solid about their career. I've had people come in and out of our lives and journey through that have supported our military. God bless them. It's been amazing to be a support system for those members whose spouses had gone away to fight and protect us. And then to also see children. One of my favorite stories is a little boy who watched me do surgery, and he was watching me do an abdominal procedure. And I was working through the whole thing and explaining it all. And he looked up at me, literally his nose was at the level of the surgery table, and said, "Dr. Hatt, how do you know you're putting all that stuff back in the right place?" It was the cutest thing, the innocence of children. And I've had a lot of fun stories like that over my career, just to be able to inspire little kids and have them joke with me, tell me some good dad jokes. If you know me, that's really important to me to have that angle of humor. You can't be almost 50 years old without a really strong pun nature and good dad jokes. And then, of course, it's just being a part of the community. But it's been a wonderful journey. There's more to give, there's more to learn. And so I'd say if I was to give any advice to anyone who wants to consider this profession, get into it because you love the people. The animals are the bonus. Get into it because you want to help others, because you really want to generate that relationship as a general practitioner. That's what it's about. It's really nice to see people in the grocery store, to see somebody's grandmother, and there's that companion. The stories are incredible. These relationships people have with their pets, and I get to enhance that to give them their best life. And that's pretty amazing. It's a noble profession. I definitely recommend it. It's hard work. It's an emotional job, but it's worth it every day. So after my time in Oahu, I was able to then come to California. My family was urging me to come a little closer, and I was like, they live in the East Coast. So I thought, well, let's compromise. I'll move one time zone closer. And so I loved California, and actually during my undergraduate season, I actually studied to be a wildlife biologist, so I spent some time in Yosemite National Park working with the black bears. And so that was my attraction to Northern California, as I'd actually spent a couple of summers here in my early 20s. Then I was able to purchase a practice here in Vacaville, and it was an incredible story. I actually had a client in Hawaii who was moving to California, and I had gotten some leads to come over to this little town of Vacaville, and my client had said, well, you really need to start a practice in California because I'm moving there. And I said, okay, where in California? Because California, I don't know if you know this, but it's a pretty big state. And she said, oh, we're moving to this little town, I'm sure you never heard of it, and it's called Vacaville. So here it was, just meant to be that I had a client in Hawaii sitting in my exam room telling me about this town that I had already been checking out. So that was confirmation for me that this was where I was supposed to be. So we started my practice here. It's called Posh Place, for those of you that know. And I have owned this practice now for, gosh, has it been 5, going on 6 years now? The time flies when you're having fun. But I'm proud to say that with the team that I have behind me, we've been able to be #1 in the county. I came in 2015 with that practice, and I was able to get that vote and have kept that #1 place for the whole time I've owned the practice. And I know it's because of the support of our community, but also the love that my staff has had for our community and their pets as well. One more wonderful relationship that I got to develop was with Lisa Hylas from Saving Gracie. She had asked me one day after work, what was the hardest part of my day? And I said, gosh, as a veterinarian, the hardest part of my day is having to euthanize an animal that I know I could help because that owner cannot afford the care that pet needs. And that just touched her heart for a lot of personal reasons for her. And she just took that and ran with an amazing creation of a foundation to help preserve that human-animal bond. It was very important to me that when I see children with emotional support pets, or even people that have had that, especially with the affiliations I've had with the military, I've seen incredible growth from people that have had PTSD and those types of things, and having that connection with their pet is a very, very big deal that has really gotten them through and helped their healing. And so Saving Gracie has also been able to help me reach to our community to be able to help people that were originally not able to afford a necessary but life-saving procedure for their pet, be able to make that a reality. And what a gift. So much gratitude to surround that, protect that human-animal bond. So it's wonderful that we're a part of that. And actually this month in May, they are also been in existence for 5 years too. And so you can actually, little shameless plug here, but you can actually make a donation for them, where you can do $5 a week. That's the cost of a coffee. $5 a week or $20 for the whole month of May, just to make a donation to really help pets, because there's nothing better than really serving that relationship. And especially if you don't, especially as an unknown gift, I think that's probably the best kind, is just to be able to give and to be able to serve these people in that way, because you understand the love that you have with those pets and those connections. And the goal for Saving Gracie, and I'm glad that Posh gets to participate with that, is about keeping families together. Pets are family members. They enhance, they enrich, and their existence is solely to support that fundamental truth. Thanks for being a part of Chat with Hatt today. My friends, I really appreciate you being here, enjoying this cup of coffee with all of you. I look forward to talking to you next week. I hope you have a very, very safe week. Take care.